move. Is this going to time out on me? Is it not? Well, we can only find. Anyway, welcome to Mystic Moon's Cancer. How are you? Cancer, I want to take a look at energies coming into the collective for November, the rest of November. With only 1 month left of the calendar year, yes, it may be a construct put in by society, our calendar year, our standard calendar year, but it's still something that we follow by and abide by. And it does have, in that case, meaning and energy and a flow all its own. You know, we speak things into existence, and November, as being the second to last month of the year, is pretty much spoken in our society is a pretty firm cornerstone. Is November more potent than, let's say, June or July, the midsummer for Cancer, the summer, midsummer for Cancer? I don't know, Cancer. I don't think so. But November definitely has a flavor all its own. So Cancer, with that in mind, let's go and check out what is in your energy. Keep in mind, Cancer, of course, these readings are for the general collective, right? You're watching this, so I'm sure you know that. What I have here may or may not resonate with you, may not resonate with you entirely. So take what resonates, Cancer. The Cancerian collective is large. Many messages to be pulled from it, Cancer. And as we drill down, well, the message gets more and more condensed, more and more refined, more and more specialized. Of course, I do have cards that I can go and pull that would expand that message all over again. But there are other readings for that, Cancer. Let's get one message for Cancer. I will also be available for, if anybody has a question, they'd like me to pull some cards on that, we can do that too. But right now, let's take a look at mid-November. We're a couple days to the halfway point in November and end of November energies. What should you be aware of? What is developing? Whatever comes out. I'm not specializing or specifying whether it's love or whether it's career or something else. Whatever comes out for Cancer. I have 4 of Pentacles, Cancer. You know, I'm going to start pulling some more cards before I talk about what this 4 of Pentacles is. Initially, though, I will say it feels like being cautious. But I also wonder if Cancer, if this cautiousness is warranted. That's why I'm going to pull some more. Maybe now, Cancer, is the time to be, well, bold, not care if some things scatter by the wayside, because what you can gain, Cancer, is much more tantalizing. Hermit. Seven of Cups. There are options developing for you, Cancer. Hermit and 7 of Cups. Is your attention focused on something else? as preventing you from seeking out new opportunities, Cancer. Cancer, this feels not quite like love, not quite like work, just a general reading. But we'll explore it. Hermit, seven of cups and 7 of pentacles. Cancer, is anyone here a life path of 7? Such cautious energy here. It's almost precarious, but how precarious can something be with a 7 of cups here? Let's go and see how that 7 of cups is aspected. I think there's, of all the energies here, the freedom comes from the 7 of cups. The expansiveness comes from the 7 of cups. Cancer, perhaps you may feel like you don't quite have agency, you don't quite have the mobility, you don't quite have the foundation, the space, the money, the time, whatever limitations. You don't have the connections, or waiting to develop the connections, waiting to develop the right connections to act. This 7 of cups is a hesitation. It's a hesitation that is contingent upon certain factors that you believe have to be in place before you can sink your teeth into something. I have hesitation for Cancer. That is odd. Let's go and find out more. I say odd because Cancer energy as a whole, well, it's not limited. It's not limiting. And if Cancer sees a good thing, Cancer grabs it. If Cancer sees a bad thing, Cancer throws it away. Cancer, the energy I get with Cancers is that Cancer, even if it hurts them, they're going to make the right decision. That's why the hesitation is odd here. Because if Cancer sees a good thing, Cancer surely would go after it. Just like if Cancer knows a bad thing, even if there's attachments, even if there's feelings, even if there's care, Cancer will make the right choice, the healthiest choice, even if it feels horrible after. That's why I say that. Hermit. Hermit gets looking for stability and foundation. 4s are piling up. Even 4 swords energy there as I'm pulling. Let's see. Cancer, this one message that I said about hesitation still applies, right? There's another meaning that's coming in here with this Hermit. Cancer, I don't think this Hermit is you. Cancer, I don't know. This Hermit could be, obviously could be a Virgo, could be an earth sign. Just as strongly though, Cancer, it could be a fire, air, or water. So this is like everybody. Except, yeah, this is everybody. Could be anybody. But I don't think this Hermit is you, Cancer. Oh, and Cancer, I believe the message that's developing here. You have an admirer, Cancer. I don't know how you feel about this admirer, Cancer. They don't know how you feel about them either. I have someone who's watching you and taking their time about you, Cancer. This person can see. Not sure if I like this energy either, Cancer. Cancer, this person can see being with you, living with you, exploring the connection. They could also feel quite deeply about you, Hermit, and Four of Wands. They could feel, Cancer, about you. Oh, I really don't like this energy. Like you're a soulmate, Cancer, that they did not recognize initially. Or maybe they just either had holes in themselves, Cancer, or they had fancies for others that prevented them from choosing and focusing, Cancer. Well, Cancer, this person's come to a realization. As I said, I don't know how well, for those of you in the collective, you may or may not know this person. This person may know you somewhat superficially from a distance. This person, I do think, kept themselves at a distance from you one way or another. But this person doesn't know you well, Cancer, then they feel pulled to you. You know, they almost like that deja vu feeling. You meet someone, you're like, oh, even, and it's not like a come on, right? Like, come on, I haven't met you before. But there are some people that you meet and you feel like that meeting has happened before. The person has that kind of energy here, whether this actually happened or whether they feel it. The reason why I say that too is because we have a Seven of Swords. You know, Seven of Swords takes liberties. So this person could be taking liberties with their imagination of either what they feel they know about you, what they imagine they know about you. Maybe they actually hung out with you and then therefore they develop narratives, one-sided narratives, Cancer, in their head. That's why I said like how well they know you or have approached you is up for grabs with the Seven of Swords, because this person has some knowledge of you, Cancer. Could just be from watching, could be from an initial meeting, could be from a series of meetings or a period of time. And then they just sort of ran, or they have been running with the notion of you. Quiet little cat. I don't know if you can hear that. That's my Siamese in the background. She's saying, you're talking to the space, to the phone, when you could talk to me. Cancer, I have an admirer here. This is a secret admirer. This person has not expressed interest in you. If they have, they haven't expressed interest in you in a while. They have been watching you, Cancer, and I do think their imagination has their imagination. We'll find out more about the Seven of Swords. Well, their imagination has them daydreaming, Cancer. Cancer, I have someone for some reason is going to take a bold step in love for you. The reason why I don't say I like this energy, well, we have 3 sevens, Cancer. That means number one, unless your life path is 7, there's a connotation there again. But I have someone who likes to collect, Cancer. Maybe they collect fancies and maybe they collect, well, who knows what they collect? I'm not going to get into that. So excuse me, because as I already said, I have some energies here that I don't like in conjunction with each other. I have a 4 of Pentacles that's watching. I have a Hermit that's seeking. Excuse me. I have a 7 of Swords that's sneaking. Cancer, I have a 7 of Cups that's dreaming, Cancer, dreaming of interacting with you. Could be interacting with your general circle, Cancer. They've been waiting, Cancer. Cancer, in this energy, they feel like they've been waiting unfairly. This person has a little bit of grudge and resentment energy here. Could be Cancer in this energy. As I said before, you've already shot them down. If you haven't shot them down, Cancer, then know that you appear very bright, very powerful. A little intimidating, perhaps, Cancer, not easily manipulated. Could be that as well. Cancer, what you would do is not what they could easily anticipate, or they feel they can't easily control you. Queen of Wands. They can't go and put some formula on you. Go, oh, if I do this, Cancer will do B or A or C. No, it doesn't exactly work that way. Maybe 2, Cancer. Cancers we're talking about. You know, Cancer may do it, Cancer may not. What do they like to say? June Cancers are like Geminis, right? You don't know what they could do. How crazy or sane they are. Anyway, yeah. And then I have a 7 of Pentacles. Let's go and take a look at that 7 of Pentacles. And I think I am going to dig, Cancer, for you a little bit more into the 7 of Swords here. That's essentially what I have for you for end of November. I have you being watched. I have you being planned on, you, Cancer, being considered amongst other options. You see the 7 of Pentacles. I was going to say, Cancer, in this energy, I'm not sure if I'm looking at someone who's going to approach or not, or just the energy of someone thinking about you, thinking of approaching you, because Cancer, they are thinking of approaching you. Thinking, waiting, thinking. Oh, but Cancer, I think they're just waiting for the right moment. This person will approach. 7 of Pentacles clarified by the Sun. Still a little bothered by all these 7s. As I said, this person has options, Cancer. This person has been developing options. This person likes going around collecting options. This This person is scattered, Cancer, and ultimately they don't know what they want. But Cancer, they know a good thing when they see one, and they've seen a good thing in you. This person has a lot of pride, Cancer. As I said, I'm not really crazy about the energy here. But this person will approach. This person, Cancer, definitely will approach. Could want to move very fast with you, Cancer. They're just planning on the right time to do so. We have all the sevens here. That rounds at all the sevens. This person, too, in 7 energy, is not going to approach you, Cancer, until they're ready. You have a stubborn, proud, indecisive admirer, Cancer. You have a person with some hang-ups watching you. Definitely planning on approaching you, no doubt. They're just waiting for the right time, Cancer. When is that right time? Well, Cancer, this person's been watching you for a while. Bottom of the deck energy here with the Devil. As I was just thumbing through this before, this person has been waiting to make an offer to you quite intensely. Devil, Page of Pentacles, 8 of Wands, 10 of Pentacles. This person knows that time is going by fast, Cancer. The more they delay, the more the chance of being with Cancer is going away. Do you know this person, Cancer? I feel like for some of you, you definitely know this person. I feel for others, this person is watching you from a distance. Is this a partner of your dreams, Cancer? Well, Cancer, I don't know about that. I will say this person, besides being, what did I say? Proud, stubborn. This person is trying to work on their presentation, Cancer. As I said, this person was not going to arrive until their things are absolutely perfect. Could be, well, it's obviously because they want to impress you. Actually, let's go and find out about that 7 of Swords, though. My 7 of Swords, we have all the 7s here, as I said. I'm not that crazy about the energy, even if you are a life path 7. But the person does intend to approach. Let's see, 7 of Swords. Seven of Swords clarified by Hierophant and a Knight of Pentacles. Cancer, in this energy, I would almost say this person's eyeing what you have, like monetarily. Or materialistically, Cancer, they could be interested in what your family legacy is, something like that. What your family dynamics are, what life would be like, what a household with you would be like. I see that too because we had the 4 of Wands here. It's like family life is appealing to you, but there's something more than that here in this energy. Are they waiting for a chance, Cancer, to develop their own riches, or they just see, do they see riches with you? Could see riches with you. This is marriage energy. Hierophant, Page of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles. Cancer, do you know this person? Did you not find them as charming as what they believed they are? Or they believe their charm could lead someone to doing anything for them? You have a sneaky, guarded person who likes you. I don't think they appear like this either, Cancer. This person that's going to approach you, whose real self is like this, I don't think they're going to approach you appearing like this, appearing like a slow to move, ultra cautious, ultra watchful person who's going to say, I've been thinking about you for a while. No, Cancer. They're going to hide this part of them. They definitely, I think they'll appear thoughtful, Cancer. I think they're going to make an effort to appear intelligent and well-versed and well-rounded, but I don't think they're going to show this pathos. Do I say this is a warning, Cancer? I can't quite say it's a warning or not. This is just a heads up. You are being watched quite intensely. You are being considered quite intensely. It's been happening for a period of time, Cancer. It just hasn't just popped up like last week. You have someone, Cancer, who sees you in very romantic energy. I do wonder where this energy is well here. Did you actually deal with them to some extent and they didn't get the way that they wanted with you, Cancer? Or do you just appear too independent or something like that? It's not the right time yet for them to approach, Cancer, but they will. They're counting down the hours, the days. Will this happen before the end of the year, Cancer? They're wondering that themselves. Cancer, also, too, in this energy, I wonder if they've been watching you, when I say a while, like since the summer. Maybe, Cancer, as I said, if this is someone who you know, someone who you know of, maybe they started poking around avenues they could find out more about you since the summer. Maybe they've been thinking about you, Cancer. What would the summer be? Summer was August, right? November, November, October, September, August. Be 4 months backwards. The person's been watching you for a while. Thinking about you for a while. All right, Cancer. Is there anything more that I should go and take a peek at before we close out this reading? As I said, I'm not going to call this a warning or not. This is just for you to be aware of. Someone's been watching you for a while. Someone's been thinking about you for a while. I'm not saying you met this person over the summer. I'm saying this person has been thinking about you intently for...
Quiet. Come on, quiet, little cat. Yes, you, quiet.
She's looking at me. She's like, are you going to come and get me? Hi, Charlie. How are you? How are you doing today? I am wondering if there's one more card I want to clarify on this reading I'm getting on Admire for Cancer. Oh, the cats they were quiet a moment ago before I started doing the reading, and now they're acting up a little bit. But other than that, I mean, it's fine. We're fine. And that's good that you're doing well, too. You know, yes. I think for Cancer, I'm going to throw a card on the Seven of Wands. Let's take a look at the Seven of Wands. Let's take a look at the Sun. And I'm going to see this Wheel of Fortune, see how that is aspected in terms of the timing and approach. And thank you, Charlie. Yes, they are. I don't know. Cats are just so unique in one way. I mean, they have so much energy, so much bravado, so much personality. They think they rule the world until maybe like an illness sets in, or, you know, some sort of scare, and then they realize just how small they are. But they're so cute when they're there full of the attitude. Really? Yeah, Cancer in this reading. See someone waiting for, deciding, deliberating about the best time to approach Cancer. And it really is just a matter of timing. I was wondering if this person was just going to continue watching, being creepy. Creepy watching. But no, this person is going to come and approach. But there's conditions that this person wants to make sure are there. And I do think in this energy too, this person is wondering themselves, are they going to approach before the end of the year or not? And I think that this person has been thinking about this in this energy. Someone's been watching for a while. They've been watching for a while. And they've been actively considering Cancer, I would say, since the summer. Could be August, could be June. For at least the past 4 months, this person has been considering Cancer. This person knows Cancer somewhat. This person knows Cancer somewhat, has been waiting, has some knowledge, and it could be Cancer. Cancer has some knowledge of this person too, but Cancer wasn't easy. In other words, Cancer wasn't pliable. This person, who I feel is very egotistical, very stubborn, this person met someone who's also very stubborn and also has their own self-worth of what they want and what they don't want. Okay, I'll take a look. I'll take a look for you. Send a donation. I'm going to go and just throw some cards really quickly on this Sun and Wheel of Fortune, and we'll check it out. Wheel of Fortune. We have Page of Swords. 2 cards came out for 7 of... This person approaching.
Quiet.
Okay, sounds good, Charlie. Let me know when you're ready. And hello, Lindy. This person could be blocked. Hello, Lindy. This person could be blocked. This person is someone who you haven't seen in a while, or who has been watching you. I feel like I almost want to say watching you struggle for a while, watching you alone for a while. Quiet.
Quiet, little cat.
Yeah, this son is someone who neglected Cancer. The current situation is something they created. They definitely are going to take the power to go and engage contact again. 7 of Wands, Page of Wands, Ace of Wands. They're going to push through for another point of contact. And this Wheel of Fortune is not blocked. I'm not going to say whether this is going to happen in the next few, from now to the end of November, but this is to let you know that they are definitely going to approach. It's just a matter of timing, and they themselves are wondering, do they do that before the end of the month, the end of the year? Someone is watching you. Someone is preparing, Cancer. They're preparing to make another love offer, another offer of love to you. And they're going to be, they should be quite open about it, quite clear about it. I mean, I'm not quite sure the best word to use about that. Like, in other words, I don't see them just going, oh, hey, how are you? What's up? I don't see that. Would this include an apology? They're wondering about that as well. You know, they're wondering about what to say for the most effective strategy, but I don't see them holding back. But yes, Lindy, that's the energy that I have here. This person has been watching for a while, thinking about it for a while. This person definitely will approach. This is an admirer, Cancer. And this admirer realizes there's something very special about you. And I do think they were aware of it before, but they had other people, maybe other things that they sort of thought like, you know, well, this is special too. But the more that time went by and the more that that separation happened, the more they realized that the rapport you have, the vibration you have is not something that they could duplicate. They realized it was special. That is a mid-November message for Cancer. And Charlie, let me know when you're ready. And we'll take a look. I did do, Now I kind of forget what the astrological notes I've been doing for Cancer have been. I almost remember them. Oh, no, this is good. This is a good time, Charlie. Okay, thank you for sending that over. What's your question? No, thank you. And let me know, write out your question, think about it for a second, and then I'll pull. I know you were saying something about your connection with the Scorpio. Why did you meet the Scorpio? Okay. Why did Charlie meet this Scorpio? I think so. Well, bottom of deck energy here with the Tower. This Scorpio, by the way, Scorpio energy. First of all, there's a shift that you needed. Something you weren't seeing in a full 360. You're only seeing a portion, Charlie, of the opportunities that are available to you, the type of life you could have. And I think number one, why you met this Scorpio was because perhaps there was a facet, Charlie, there was a facet that this Scorpio opened up that you maybe never you never even considered, or perhaps you felt was closed off to you. First of all, the Scorpio, you were meant to meet the Scorpio so that your dreams, your desires, your wants, your stability, I don't think, first of all, for you to put a limit on that. And I think you have been, in some way, you've been putting self-imposed limits on what your happiness could look like and who could bring that happiness to you. And I think with that Scorpio, Four of Pentacles came up here again, Charlie. In terms of somebody, that Cancerian reading. Yeah, I think that's essentially it, Charlie. There's more than just one way to achieve happiness, and there isn't just one way to achieve happiness. And I think there isn't just one type of person that can bring you that happiness. And no, I'm not talking about like when people say, oh, don't choose someone based on their looks, right? Choose what's inside. I mean, that goes without saying. Just because someone is attractive or not doesn't mean that they're intrinsically going to be a good person or not. Like, someone who is not attractive is not going to be a better person than someone who is attractive, right? I mean, that's neither here nor there. The tarot reader. So when I'm saying like more than one type of person, I don't mean like that. I mean, you still have your standards, Charlie, but I'm saying that you can expand those standards. You can expand those standards into ways that you did not think of before. Positively. You've learned a lot from the tarot reader. I think in this energy, Charlie, it's mutual. I think he learned a lot from you as well. But I do think the reason why he came into your life was because there were limits that you placed on yourself. And I think that those limits you placed on yourself, Charlie, are unfair. They're unfairly put on you, and ultimately they limit you. And you definitely should not be putting limitations, Charlie, on your heart, on your relationships, on your expectations. Because there's a lot more out there, Charlie, for you. You just have to imagine it. That's what I think. Yeah, you can't limit yourself. I mean, it's hard because everyone tries to say, like, oh, if you're in a certain neighborhood, or if you're working a certain job, or if you're a certain age, or a certain weight, or a certain height, a certain nationality, you eat a certain way, you have certain exercise habits, etc., 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 right? You have a car, you don't have a car, etc. There's all these ways that they talk about limitations, right? They put those limits in there. Do you what's your working schedule like, and how much time do you have to socialize and play? Where do you socialize and play, and so forth? But all they're just doing that is just trying to go and have you fulfill a narrative that makes, first of all, them feel comfortable. Those other people that are trying to put you in boxes, it's to make themselves feel comfortable about you. And secondly, if you have no limitations, or if you are there freely with free boundaries and able to go and explore courageously, then that makes other people feel, well, jealous. That's why I think the number one reason why people are ultimately not supportive. And support is all about giving somebody the encouragement, even if it's yourself, to do better, be better, to gain more. Yes, Charlie. Anybody who tries to limit your dreams, even in mocking, or they say that it's like good advice or anything like that, you don't need anybody like that, Charlie. People, you can get that enough by, situations you have to deal with, let alone people who try and use the word as friend. But, well, as it's called here, negging, they verbally try and cut you down. Even if it's saying that they're offering good advice, growth and expansion, we should not be limited. As long as we're breathing, we can grow. As long as we grow, we can change. And I really do think there is no dream, no goal that is unobtainable. And I also don't believe there's a time limit associated to those things as well. But definitely, Charlie, definitely do not limit yourself. And definitely anybody who you don't need people who will try and limit you. And I think also too, people who understand or there's like the people too who actively try and limit you. It's like some sort of weird domination game they have because they didn't have the courage to follow through on their dreams. Why should you have the courage to follow through on yours? And also too, to keep you at the same level, right? Like we can all go and hang out together if we're all complaining about, let's say, the same job or the same situation. But if you're actively there shutting that situation down and out of your life, and you're going to go off into other things and make an active change, then where does that leave that comfortable situation of like, just complaining about something as opposed to actually doing it? One person is moving to make a change that's going to force someone else to make a positive change as well. Because they didn't want you to outshine them. It's almost too like when you think about a school and a family could be the same way, that the school or a classroom has their stars, right? And then they have their so-called jokers, their so-called poor people, the sweet, like the poor grade ones or the poor attentive one, the ones that don't keep attention, so they say. The sweet ones, the troublemakers and so forth. But ultimately with those roles, aren't they just encouraging those roles in there? Because, we all have the capacity to be a jokester. We all have the capacity to be a troublemaker. If we are able to tap into genuine interest, we can be the star pupil of anything and everything, of what we find interesting, right? What vibrates and calls to our soul. And I think it's just the same thing with the family. It could be with the parents. They already chose who were going to be the stars and then who shouldn't go and compete with that star shine. Or maybe even the stars were someone who wasn't even their own children. Maybe they themselves were the star, right? Maybe one parent was there going, I'm the star, and everyone else just should be around me to show how great I am. But if someone goes and competes with that, not like a whole family of stars shining bright in their own unique way. But yes, Charlie, I think that's why you met that Scorpio. I think, Charlie, there are expectations that you have for a relationship and the type of person that you want to be with, and build that long-lasting foundation. Okay, let me take a look. And I'll be back in just one moment. It's 4:40 right now. I'll find out if he's doing magic. We'll see. Okay, no worries. Take your time. Okay. And we'll see if he's doing magic. Okay. Thank you, Charlie. All right, so you want to see if the Scorpio is doing magic on you. I don't think the Scorpio is doing magic on you. What I do think is he is thinking about you a lot, Charlie. Charlie, if you know the Scorpio's birth date, why don't you check out your Neptune, your synastry around Neptune? Check out your moon and Neptune. If you know his birthday, then check out the synastry charts. Go to the synastry and check out your moon and your Neptune, and also see. I mean, you can find this out for yourself if you know your birth date. I mean, your birth time. Check out to see what planets of his come into your 12th house. What I'm seeing is not exactly. Yeah, that's that's pretty strong. Yeah, because I was going to say the moon and Neptune because these are like psychic, right? The psychic synastry. Okay, so there we go. He doesn't need to do magic on you, Charlie. He doesn't need to do magic because you already have a bond that's there. I mean, you know what I mean? Like you already have such a strong magnetic pull. You have such a strong magnetic pull that I think all he's doing right now about you is thinking about you, and that's enough. I'm not even seeing anything like here too, like astral projection or anything like that. It's just thinking, calmly thinking about you in the midst of things, and also feels like some meditation around you. Well, when I do say thinking, when I do say thinking with this Page of Wands, he could be doing some private actions. Well, let's say he's thinking about you in the midst of the other things that he's doing. And in this, whether we want to call it meditating or just thinking with no distractions, that's how I'm going to put that here. Is he actually doing something physical with himself while he's thinking about you? I mean, that's up for interpretation. There's a little bit of that feeling here, Charlie. There's a little bit of that feeling here. I don't get magic. I do get him thinking about you in the midst of doing other things. And then I feel like on his solo time, he is also thinking about you as well. And with what you're saying, there's a strong possibility of that. So yeah, I don't think he's meditating. Excuse me, I don't think he's doing magic on you. I think he's just fixated on you, and I do think he's thinking about you, and I think he's thinking about you while doing some other private actions. I'm going to leave that message held for review, though, but yes. So, yeah, it doesn't seem like in this energy he's stopping it. he's just wondering what to do with it, but yeah, he's definitely doing private things with himself while thinking about you, okay? But yeah, no magic. Well, he's trying to expand the boundaries. I will say he is trying to expand the boundaries of being your teacher. He would like to expand the boundaries of being your teacher. And as I said, you also feel that too because you are so strongly connected through your planets. I mean, you have that magnetism right then and there. Especially since I was there saying Moon, Neptune, and 12th house, and I mean Sun in 12th house. That's really, really big. Moon and Sun synastry is also really, really big. But I would say too, just as strongly, if you said like before, those Sun and Moon synastries went both ways, right? Oh. Okay. So yeah, I mean, he is. I do think he is thinking about you and doing things to himself while he's thinking about you. And thinking about you in terms of whether you want to call it meditating, whether you want to call it private alone time. I mean, he's not there sitting on the bus or talking to someone and thinking. I mean, he is thinking about you. I feel like in the busy moments, but he's also like his own alone time. And that's a weird thing to say. I think that's really weird too, because and this is why I say that. And especially too with men in spirituality. So they know about, for instance, like the astral projection, they can know about, the energy pulls. They have knowledge of that. They can work that as a toolkit. And if he's doing these actions, Charlie, that we just saw, if he's doing those actions, oh, that's gross. Yeah, if he's doing those actions, Charlie, and if he gets you to do those actions, then you are aligning yourself to his energy. In fact, I would say that in that case, again, it's not like he needs to do magic to you, at least in this point, but he's aligning, he has a certain specific energy he's seeing himself towards you in. And then if you do those actions, then you are aligning yourself to him. That's why I say that comment that he's there saying that advice he gave you is weird, because he's trying to align you to his actions, align you to his vibration. Like, well, I don't think you should. I mean, I don't think you should. There's plenty of better things to do with our hands than that. That's what I believe. Yeah, he is. That's really, really weird, creepy stuff, though. And that's why I say I think it's weird, because he's going off of a fantasy about you, and yeah, he's doing that himself. And I think too, he's trying to get you into like even more a sexual energy about you. And as I said too, it's that alignment. Like, for instance, if you really like living well and being gracious and using manners, and you're going to attract someone who says please and thank you, etc. And then when you meet someone who, like, let's say they don't use those mannerly terms, you're going to feel a friction, a shift. You're not going to feel alignment with that. And he's there trying to create alignment. Yeah. I say that's because of the synastry, and he definitely is doing some stuff to himself and thinking about you in both private moments and non-private moments. And I think that the only reason why he said that literally is, especially being, you know, new age, spiritual, etc. type of person, I think he just said that to try and align you to him. Yeah, he's trying to make you receptive to it. He's trying all sorts of ways through his comments. I mean, giving advice like that is really gross, I think. And it's inappropriate. And I think too, you know what, Charlie, it's not gentlemanly. I mean, you know, someone, if they're going to use that sort of language or those sorts of terms, they should have built up the right to go and speak to you that way. Yeah, I think that's a little unfair. That's overstepping his boundaries. Because I think that if someone's going to go and speak to you in a personal, intimate way, they should have the commitment. There still should be some sort of commitment, because I mean, otherwise, then it's a lack of respect. He's trying to find his boundaries with you. What kind of boundaries will you establish? And even if you've been speaking for a long time, I mean, still there's protocols, right? Or at least if you want to have the protocols, like, you know, if he's talking to you this way, and if you have a certain sort of relationship, then is that relationship something that he's having with other people, right? I mean, those are the sort of questions that you have to think. Well, it feels like he's getting his rocks off, and that he's trying to align you, to push you into the same sort of sexual energy that he is in. And even by giving you advice like that, and that's just weird. Of course, you know, people say weird things, but I think it's just something to keep in mind. I think also to keep in mind as well, just, you know, the messages that a man would get would be different than the messages that a woman would get, right? The different ages have, you know, different backgrounds. I mean, all these things lead to different sorts of messages people get. Also, too, like, you know, if someone is, if someone, for instance, goes and takes drugs to go and communicate with the greater world, they're going to have a different sense of, or different pull of meanings than someone who purely just, you know, meditates or is receptive to, let's say, energy from other beings, other spirits, without that sort of you know, the drug gateway or the spirit gateway. Things like that. But yeah, that is what I see, Charlie. Do you have any other questions? Hmm. Okay, so send one more donation and we'll see. Thank you, Charlie. Let me know when you're done and we'll take a look. I feel like he ruined the Queen of Cups. Oh, I never heard a Queen of Cups spoken such a way. Poor Queen of Cups of his deck. I feel for her. Okay, thank you, Charlie. All right, so still the same question, right? Why do you turn him on? Let me know that's the question, and I'll pull on it. Okay. All right, let's see. Why do you turn him on? What could be he hasn't had this sort of fun in a while, this sort of person that you are, Charlie. Either how ladylike you are, how receptive you are, how could be how reserved you are. Something about your, I mean, it feels like you conduct yourself as a lady, and he really likes that. He hasn't had such fun, and also maybe an element of being reserved. Yeah, because with the bottom deck energy here of Wheel of Fortune and Queen of Pentacles. I don't think he's experienced that before. I think it's a novelty to him. I think it's a challenge to him. I think also, too, it's an energy that he really likes. Excuse me. I think he likes the fact that you are a lady. And it also feels like in this energy, too, of like being, so they said before the Queen of Pentacles, Wheel of Fortune, and here it's like you're in touch with your femininity, but you're in touch with the strength of femininity. Is that a better way of putting it, perhaps? Like for instance, you don't need to go and wear like a mini skirt to like go and showcase you're attractive, right? You're attractive no matter what you wear with your deportment because you have that innately inside of you, right? You could be wearing like burlap, but you're still going around with the like the grace and solidity of being a woman and having value in your own femininity, regardless of whether you're adhering to trends or you're looking for people to like, go, aren't I attractive? You don't need that. And at the very least, you don't need that from him. There's a confidence here that I think he's just really attracted to, a confidence that you have innately, a femininity that you have innately that doesn't require or need a man's acknowledgement or approval. I think that's what you carry yourself as, and that's what he's reacting to. Yes. I think you're unique, and I think also too, I think unexpected. That's why I think he's attracted to you. It could be too in that energy that maybe the type of energy that you give out, maybe he didn't really feel adequate as well to approach, it's like an ideal that he's able to interact with as well. But I do think it's the way you carry yourself. Yeah, that's what I think is attracting you. And it's like, again, like the feminine without, having to go and paint yourself up or dress yourself up. I mean, it's just like innately you have feminine energy inside of you. It doesn't matter what you're wearing, if you're dressed up, not dressed up, etc. Just innately you have that. And again, as I said, you have that without also you have that without presenting or needing validation from the male gaze to be your to be yourself, to feel comfortable in yourself. He probably does in that energy. For him to see you as an ideal, he does. But that's what he likes. And it turns him on a lot. Yeah, essentially. Do you have any other questions you'd like to see, Charlie? He definitely sees you in a feminine way. And I also think he feels like he's been restraining himself from, I don't know whether it's, I mean, it just doesn't sound like from what you were there telling me about what he's been saying to you, like he's been restraining himself. But in the energy that I get, I feel like he's been restraining himself from like approaching or talking to you in a certain way, even though it doesn't seem that way with like how suggestive his commentary is towards you. Well, if you think of another way of phrasing or another question that you want to go and have answered around that, we could take a look. But he does see you in a feminine way. I still get restraint from him, although, again, the commentary doesn't sound like he's restraining himself, but in the energy that I'm getting from him, he thinks he is. And I don't know, think about it, Charlie. We can always do it again later, too. There's no rush. But it does feel like he thinks he's restraining himself. He also does think he's making overtures. I don't know. He is fantasizing about you. He is considering you. He is thinking about you a lot. Oh, I don't get any sort of specific outcomes or actions, but that I get those feelings. Well, it's odd, Charlie, when I think someone directs a conversation in a sexual manner. I mean, that's leading the conversation. And I think also, too, guiding, trying to guide a relationship, not into seeing the full 360 of the person, but only focus on like, lust, right? Lust and attraction. They don't want you to see the full 360 of them. Well, the energy I got today, he is thinking about what he wants, and it isn't being satisfied with what he has now. Yeah. And I think he's secretive because he's still figuring out himself what he wants. It is odd, though, saying as a teacher those questions or those statements. That's not a teacher's code. He should just confess rather than have a teacher-student relationship like that. Yeah. I teach yoga. And some of the male teachers have a certain way of acting with their students. And it's the same way that male yoga teachers have been acting like 5 years ago, 10 years ago. I mean, there are like 60-year-old yoga teachers who have done the same routine that 20-something-year-old yoga teachers or male yoga teachers are doing right now. We can see, I mean, what I'm doing are light spreads, but we can just take a look and see the light energy. Would you like to do that? Since it's something that's ongoing and developing. You can see what the outcome is with the energies right now. There could be, if you still want to do a light spread, let me know, Charlie. And we can see the outcome between you and him. Yeah, I mean, yoga is a beautiful thing to do. But I would say definitely the dynamics of some of the studios and then some of the teachers, they leave a lot to be desired. I mean, some people are truly into it. I think yoga is a miraculous tool to, like, grow and keep your body alive. But definitely, I mean, I've seen some teachers go and use that foundation of being a teacher to their students and then other students and other students, and it just is odd. Okay, we can go into pull that. One moment. Okay. Will do, Charlie. Take your time, no worries, no rush. Okay, one moment. Okay. Okay, so we'll see right now what is the outcome between you and the Scorpio. Well, right now things look pretty. Well, there's a couple things here. One is that it can progress. You know, I'd say that he's open to exploring a relationship with you. With that Six of Wands here, he's also willing to go and put an effort towards you. I do think, though, in this energy of the outcome dialogue, more Pacific dialogue about what your expectations are and what do you want from it. I mean, it's like he's getting carried away in the, yeah, definitely to the synastry. And let me know, because I am curious about the Neptune. Look at the Neptune, the moon, and the 12th house. I'm most interested in those. Could be the 8th house, too. 8th house, 12th house, and moon and Neptune. And see too where the moon and Neptune fall. Gemini sun. Interesting. So I have a Neptune Capricorn. Interesting. Interesting. Well, what I see here, Charlie, is that you basically have an open book for the outcome. But what I do see that you need here, I think you need some dialogue on here because there's a lot of energy, but where is it going and where is it being focused? And this energy too is not really showing that it's going to like fizzle out or anything like that. Like it can continue. And that's why I say, what do you want? There's no indication of the momentum and the energy dying off here. It's steady. So where do you want to direct it? I do think you have to direct it. And there is a potential for it to go in a very positive direction here. Well, you need to direct it. Because there's right now it's all energy. Your relationship. Well, you have to redirect it. Right now it is going along to his path, his energy, and I think as well, it's almost a bit forceful energy too, like where the relationship is going, because again, we don't have cups, we don't have pentacles, we don't have swords. It's going purely on energy, attraction, and You know, it's almost the energy of like a bull just charging through or something. It's like as long as the path is clear, he's going to continue going along that path, the path that's cleared. So that's what I see there. But very, very intriguing, Charlie. You have definitely some decisions to make, right? Some things to think about and some decisions to make on that. Well, you do have enough energy there to go and bridge that, but then you just have to direct it. A lot of energy, a lot of passion. But what do you want to build that into? What do you want to shape that in with logic? What kind of emotionality do you want? Things like that. You were thinking of cutting him off? Well, if you want to pull cards of that now, or if you want to think about it later and come back for another reading, we could do that. But I do think those comments he said to you are inappropriate. That's my personal opinion. I think that's inappropriate. And I think that's taking advantage a little bit too. Well, even if he's inappropriate to his channel, though, he's talking to a larger base. I mean, for instance, think about it this way. The channel is like his home, right? So if he's a nudist, for instance, and you know that he's a nudist, and if you go to his home, I mean, if you're not specifying, he could be there like naked in his home. I mean, true, you know, he's a nudist. That's what he believes. No clothes. But if you're meeting in a shared space or something like that, or if you're meeting in like, you know, outside, you know what I mean, outside of his private domain, and he's meeting with you one-on-one, you know, equal consideration for you as his guest, as his, you know, partner, as the one he's acting with, then he should show you some consideration. And if you're like, for instance, going back to the nudist thing, if you don't want him to come to, let's say, your house naked, come with some clothes on. I mean, I just think it's one thing being that way in your own private space as who you are, but if you're interacting one-on-one with someone, you should show consideration towards that person. That's all. I mean, I would find that inconsiderate. I've had friends who've spoken to me that way, or tried to, and I told them that was inappropriate and shut that down. But that's just me. Do you want to do one more reading on if you cut him off, or you're going to think about the messages you got so far today? It sounds good, Charlie. That sounds good. It could also be just, again, for you to think about, what do you want? How do you want it? This isn't about people putting what they want on you, Charlie. This is about what you want. And just like they're trying to get specific results or actions or inclinations from you, you can also do the same to them. You know, what are your expectations? How do you want to be treated? What do you want to have as the outcome? Oh, I'm sure. I'm quite sure. Well, Charlie, let me know how it goes. I'm going to go and get a tea. Well, you should tell him that. You should come out and tell him that. Thank you, Charlie. I'm going to do a tea and then come back with another reading. I'll probably do Scorpio. Do a mid-November energy for Scorpio and see what's in Scorpio's energy. But I'll see you later, Charlie, and to the other person or people that come by. Yeah, I'm going to do Scorpio next. See you soon. Bye-bye.